They say the devil does not knock. He waits at the gate of your desires. He hides in silk gym where cologne-slicked muscles and the laughter of those who smile too often with secrets behind their eyes. Listen, child, and hear the tale of Sharon of Gwarinpa, beautiful, ambitious, and nearly lost to the demons that dwell not in the bush, but in the glistening halls of air-conditioned pleasure.
Please subscribe, like, and comment. Subscription is free.
In the quiet luxury of Gwarinpa Estate in Abuja, where uniformed guards opened gates and houses bloomed with bougainvillea, lived Sharon, a 28-year-old woman of poise, married to Emeka, a gentle and successful architect. She had skin like polished bronze and a gait that sang of confidence, but lately, her heart wrestled with a silent unease. The mirror had become a ruthless judge. Her waist was no longer what it was before childbirth, and her cheeks, once sharp as carved ebony, had softened. So, on the first Monday of the dry season, she joined Body Temple, the most expensive, state-of-the-art gym in the estate, marble floors, digital treadmills, infused water at every corner, and instructors with muscles sculpted like gods of Nile legend. "I just want to keep fit," she had told Emeka with a kiss on his forehead. He smiled, proud of her discipline. Little did he know. The first week was like a sunrise, fresh, golden, promising. Sharon stretched her limbs under the guidance of Moody, a fine instructor with caramel skin, tribal marks that whispered of heritage, and a jawline that could split glass. But he was professional, respectful. The gym buzzed with music and ambition. Women of wealth and curves danced to Zumba beats, sweat sliding down their designer leggings. Sharon made polite friendships, a nod here, a smile there, until she met Amara. Amara was a vision, 32, married, but her eyes, those honey-colored eyes, sparkled with something wild and unsaid. Her laughter rolled like wind through the palms. She took Sharon under her wing like a panther adopting a dove. "You've got a fine body," Amara whispered one morning during yoga. "But you're playing too safe. Come with me sometime. I'll show you how to really burn calories." On Thursday evening, after cardio, Sharon followed Amara and two other ladies, Mrs. Beasy and Yvette, into the VIP lounge at the back of the gym. The entrance was guarded not by a lock, but by invitation. Inside was not a lounge, it was a temptations chamber. Low lights, a minibar, scented oils, and instructors off-duty in vests that revealed too much, laughing, lounging, whispering. It wasn't a gym anymore. It was a secret society, a playground where rules dissolved into sweat and whispers. "They say working out releases endorphins," Yvette giggled, sipping sparkling wine. "But what releases the real stress is what comes after." Sharon was frozen. Her heart thundered. Was this a joke? Was she naive? But Amara leaned closer. "Don't act surprised. Some of us didn't marry for love, and some of us didn't marry wisely. What we do here stays here." Then Sharon saw what it was. Behind a sheer curtain near the massage corner, two people, clearly a woman from that morning's Pilates class and a younger male instructor, were locked in a sensual embrace, their moans muffled by the background music. Another married woman, still wearing her gym leggings, lay stretched across a plush bench as a trainer rubbed oil on her calves, whispering things that made her giggle like a schoolgirl. His hands, though supposedly therapeutic, traveled with too much familiarity, lingering, stroking, inviting. In the corner, soft jazz played from a speaker, and a neon sign above a minibar read, "No Judgment Zone." On the counter lay glasses of wine, a half-finished bottle of rose, strawberries, and protein bars no one had touched. The scent of lavender oil mixed with something muskier, pheromones and secrets. Mrs. Beasy stood at the bar in conversation with a sculpted instructor named Lonra, her hand lightly grazing his forearm. He smiled with practiced seduction, pouring her a drink while his other hand rested just above her waistline. It was an unspoken exchange, desire cloaked in wellness. Affairs masquerading as fitness. They had built a parallel world, safe from public eyes, bound by mutual indulgence and silence. And the others? They were complicit. A security man passed by the back hallway, nodded, and kept walking. He'd seen this many times. Yvette leaned closer to Sharon and whispered with a smirk, "It's not cheating if no one gets hurt. It's just balance. Self-care." A married woman in her 40s emerged from the steam room wrapped in a towel. She kissed a much younger trainer on the cheek. He handed her water, then winked at Sharon, as if inviting her into the club. Sharon looked around. Everyone laughed. Everyone was touched. But their laughter was empty. Their eyes, though adorned with lashes and eyeliner, were hollow, searching for something deeper, something they clearly hadn't found. That night, Sharon lay beside Emeka, staring at the ceiling fan as it spun like the thoughts in her mind. Her body felt hotter than the Abuja heat. A voice inside her said, "You are not them. You came to be fit. Don't fall." But temptation is never loud, it purrs. At home, Emeka had begun to notice things. Sharon's gym outfits had changed. No longer the loose joggers and oversized tees she once wore, she now slipped into second-skin leggings that hugged her like satin, crop tops that revealed toned slices of skin just beneath her ribcage. He watched her from the kitchen one morning as she laced her shoes. The way she adjusted her waistband, checked her reflection in the hallway mirror twice, then smiled faintly at herself. It stirred something in him, but also unsettled him. "New gear?" he asked casually, sipping his pap. She nodded too quickly. "Just want to feel good, look good." He smiled, but his eyes lingered. Something in her voice lacked its usual warmth, too clipped, rehearsed. Later that week, he called her during lunch to ask if she wanted suya for dinner. The phone rang and rang. No answer. Then 5 minutes later, a text. "Sorry, babe. Mid-set. Can't talk now." She never used emojis. Not like that. She came home late that evening. Her hair smelled of something floral and foreign. Not the usual sweat and shampoo mixture. Her skin gleamed with oil. Her laugh was lighter, almost floating. As they lay in bed, she scrolled endlessly on her phone, the screen brightness dimmed unusually low. When Emeka turned to ask a question, she instinctively flipped the screen downward. He raised a brow. "New password?" he asked softly. Sharon froze a second too long. Then, "Oh yeah, I had to change it. My phone kept freezing." He didn't respond, just nodded and turned to the other side of the bed, his face lit only by the flickering TV screen. But inside him, something began to curl and tighten. A doubt, a fear he didn't want to name. She had never been secretive. Until now. And he, a man who designed homes with precision and balance, suddenly felt like one of his own blueprints, slightly askew, something not aligning quite right. The next day, Moody approached her after HIT class. His eyes held a knowing look. "Amara told me you might need some private training." Sharon's breath hitched. Was this a test? Or was she curious? For weeks, she danced on the edge. One foot in squats and sit-ups, the other in the lounge's velvet shadows. She never touched. She never kissed. But her soul leaned dangerously toward the fire. She laughed more with the ladies, wore tight gym clothes, and spent longer hours stretching. She deleted some of her texts. She hesitated before answering Emeka's calls. One night, after a group sauna session, Moody held her hand in the dark. She didn't pull away. It was a Sunday morning. The house was quiet, but Emeka couldn't sleep. Sharon had already left for a stretch and tone session. Her scent still lingered. Fresh hibiscus and something sharper he couldn't place. She hadn't kissed him goodbye. Again, as he sat alone on the living room couch, flipping through a property brochure without reading it, his phone buzzed. Mom and Ketchy. His heart skipped. It wasn't her style to call early unless it was important. He picked up. Mama, good morning. Emeka, came her voice, low but urgent. I had a dream. His spine stiffened. With Mom and Kechi, dreams were never just dreams. The woman was known for her visions in Amwahia. Half the village swore by them. I saw Sharon, your wife, walking into a big glass building. She wore red, tight like a snake's skin. And around the building there were mirrors. Mirrors everywhere. But none of them showed her face. Only the face of someone else. A stranger. And there was smoke, white, heavy smoke, coming from the back of the building. People were laughing inside, but their teeth were too white, too many. Like wolves. Emeka exhaled slowly. A chill passed over him, despite the warmth of the morning sun. She continued. I woke up with sweat soaking my wrapper. I knew something was wrong. I know I pray for you and her every night. But this dream, my son, this one was not ordinary. There was silence, the kind that feels like a weight. Then Emeka said quietly, Mama, I've been noticing things. Sharon's been distant, different. He paused, gathering thoughts he hadn't said aloud. She started going to this new gym. Gwarinpa. Very expensive. She used to talk to me about everything, but now, her phone has a password. She wears tight things and doesn't pick my calls. And yesterday, she smiled at her phone and quickly locked it when I came near. Mom and Kechi breathed heavily. Emeka, my heart does not rest. Women are not the same anymore. Abuja is sweet, but sweet things can rot if they are left in the sun too long. I don't want to believe she'd do anything wrong, Emeka added, almost to himself. But something is not right. I feel it, and I can't confront her without proof. It's like living with a stranger. Pray, my son, she whispered. But also open your eyes. Don't just pray and sleep. Watch. The enemy doesn't always enter with a knife. Sometimes it enters smiling, wearing lycra. Emeka swallowed hard. The line fell quiet for a moment as her words settled like dust after a storm. I'll pray for you again tonight. And I'll speak with Pastor Emeka in church. Just be careful, my son. Whatever is hidden in mirrors will one day face the sun. They ended the call. Emeka sat in silence, gripping his phone tightly. The weight in his chest now had a name, dread. One Saturday, as Sharon was about to enter the gym, she saw a black car idling across the road. Her heart stilled. Inside it was Mom and Kechi, Emeka's aunt, a woman known for prayer, suspicion, and sharp eyes. She beckoned Sharon with one crooked finger. I was watching you, she said. Every morning, every night. I see the women you follow. I know what happens behind that gym. Sharon tried to defend herself. Mom and Kechi chuckled bitterly. Don't look shocked. I saw another niece lose her marriage in this same Gwarinpa, all because of keeping fit. When the devil doesn't get you in the market, he waits by the dumbbell. Monday morning, Emeka told Sharon he had a site inspection in Jabi. She barely responded, her fingers tapping quickly on her phone screen as she sipped green tea. She left 10 minutes later, gym bag on her shoulder, sleek ponytail swinging behind her like a metronome of confidence. He waited 20 more minutes, then left too, quietly, deliberately. He didn't drive his usual car. Instead, he took his old Toyota Corolla, the one with the scratch on the left bumper. Less noticeable. He wore a cap, pulled low, and sunglasses too dark for the cloudy morning. He wasn't sure what he expected to find, but the itch in his soul had become unbearable. By 8:40 a.m., he was parked near the Body Temple, the extravagant gym tucked inside Gwarinpa's secure estate zone. From outside, the building gleamed like a polished gem, steel glass elegance. Security men in black polos and earpieces flanked the doors. He watched as cars pulled in, most of them sleek SUVs, a few foreign plates. Young women stepped out, sculpted, glowing, giggling in pairs. Some were married. A few had house help bringing in their yoga mats. And then came the instructors, tall, chiseled, grinning with the confidence of men who were used to being admired. He spotted Sharon, her familiar curves, that lavender sports bra he hadn't seen before, leggings that could have been stitched onto her skin. She laughed at something one of the men said, touched his arm lightly. Emeka's jaw tightened. After she entered, he stepped out of the car and made his way to the front desk. A glass-encased reception with digital tablets and a receptionist with red braids and matte lipstick. "Good morning," he said calmly. "I'm looking to register. My wife spoke highly of this place." She smiled but barely looked up. "Apologies, sir. We are full for the quarter. Registration is now invite only. Only members can recommend new members." He nodded. "Can I tour the place then? Just to see." "Sorry, sir. We don't allow non-members beyond the lobby. Company policy." Her smile was professional. Polished. Empty. He nodded again, pretending to take it in stride. But something gnawed at him. So he stepped back outside and walked slowly around the side of the building. He passed an emergency exit door locked tight. Then further behind, a service corridor. He peeked through a narrow space between the concrete wall and hedge. And that's when he noticed something curious. The back of the gym didn't match the front. No sleek glass or stylish branding. Just a metal gate leading into what looked like a second compound. Low lighting, curtained windows, 2 more security men seated beneath a canopy with tinted glasses and walkie-talkies. A black SUV reversed into a hidden lot. Out stepped a woman in heels. Not in workout gear. Then another woman emerged, same. Their eyes darted, cautious but confident. He stayed low, heart thudding. This wasn't the gym. This was something else, behind the gym. He tried to approach, but a gate buzzer sounded sharply. One of the guards turned his way. Emeka turned casually and strolled off like someone making a phone call. His heart beat faster now. The place was airtight. Whatever was happening back there, it wasn't for outsiders. It was for the chosen. Invite only. Discreet. Controlled. By the time Emeka returned to his car, his hands were shaking. Not with fear, but with the worst kind of certainty, the kind that can't be proven yet, but can't be ignored. And his wife, she had a golden key. It was on a Thursday evening, just before sundown, when whispers first started floating through the estate like smoke with no visible fire. Amara, the playful, loud-laughing, hourglass beauty with a Mercedes coupe and a rumored sugar daddy in Dubai, had vanished. Just like that. No goodbye. No forwarding address. Her gym locker, still filled with perfume, waist trainers, and her rhinestone-studded water bottle, sat untouched. At first, some thought she had traveled. She often did. But by the 5th day, her driver was the one asking questions. He hadn't seen her since she left the gym's rear gate with a man in black glasses. Her apartment? Deserted. Shoes still in the rack. But her passports and a suitcase were missing. The estate security only confirmed that Amara had left the premises on her own accord and refused to release CCTV footage, citing privacy protocols. Rumors began to simmer. Somebody said she joined one senator in Lagos. No, I heard she messed with the wrong instructor. That one that doesn't even talk much. She was in too deep. The back of the gym is not for small girls. But Sharon noticed what the others didn't say aloud. Fear had settled in their eyes. The joking stopped. Her friends now looked over their shoulders more. And the instructors? Silent. Unshaken. Almost like Amara's absence was expected. Then there was Yvette. Where Amara was bold, Yvette had been calculated. A banker's wife. Quiet wealth. Always polite, always composed. She didn't flaunt, but her Cartier bracelet spoke louder than words. Her fall, however, came like a building struck by lightning. It began with a voice note. Someone, no one knows who, forwarded a 1-minute clip to her husband. In it, Yvette was giggling in the backroom lounge, her voice unmistakable. She was speaking to one of the gym instructors, teasing him, laughing about a routine, they had done the week before in the Red Suite. Her voice was playful, seductive, and damning. The instructor's voice responded, clear and low. "You know you're not leaving your husband, babe. But as long as you wear that smile to the gym, I know I'm still winning." Her husband, a man with political ambitions and an ego to match, confronted her that same night. Witnesses in the estate said shouting echoed through their duplex. Furniture was broken. Yvette cried on her balcony at 3 a.m., barefoot and trembling. By the weekend, movers had come. 2 of her housekeepers packed hastily. Yvette left in a silver Prado the next morning, alone. Her husband moved out 3 days later. No reconciliation, just silence and a single bold estate notice. Duplex 14A is now available for rent. Sharon had seen too much, and yet she hadn't seen enough. Because despite the disappearing girls and the collapsing marriages, the allure still tugged, like gold buried beneath thorns. And the next time she got a text with nothing but a red emoji and the words, "It's your turn. Are you ready?" She stared at it longer than she should have. Sharon didn't go home that day. She went to Jobby Lake, sat under a tree and cried. Not because she had done anything yet, but because she could have. Because her heart was already halfway gone. She remembered Emeka's quiet smile, the lunches he packed for her, the prayer they used to say together before bed. She remembered the day he knelt before her in Port Harcourt with a ring trembling in his hand. That night, Sharon cooked his favorite meal. Her hands trembled as she served it. Emeka looked up. "You're crying," he said gently. She knelt, shaking. "I almost lost myself." "I didn't fall, Emeka. But I was close." He said nothing for a long time. Then he pulled her close. "Next time," he whispered, "don't train alone." Sharon never returned to Body Temple. She joined a smaller gym, attended with Emeka twice a week. The mirror was still there, but now it reflected strength and repentance. As for Amara, she vanished from the estate. Yvette's marriage crumbled within months. The lounge was eventually shut down after a scandal surfaced on social media. And so, not every place of strength is without its weakness. Sometimes the greatest weight you will ever lift is your own conscience. Moral: when the fire looks warm, test it with your eyes, not your hands. Not every gym is a temple. Some are shrines to lost souls.